Personal story segment tonight. New York State primary tomorrow. Polling has Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton out front. Wall Street Journal poll says most of the candidates are not popular with many voters. Trump, 24% positive, 65% negative. Cruz, 26% positive, 49 negative. Kasich, 31% positive, 19 negative, which indicates the governor still not widely known. Hillary Clinton, 32 positive, 56 negative. Bernie Sanders, 45 positive, 36 negative. Who's now here in New York City is Senator Ted Cruz. What do you think accounts for all the negativity?
Well, look, it's the nature of political season. When everyone's attacking everyone, it drives everyone's negatives up. But I think we're going to see in November a clear contrast. I think Hillary Clinton is likely to be the Democratic nominee. Yep. Her agenda doesn't work. And
well, if you're the nominee, there'll be a clear contrast. Yeah. But here, it seems Americans are more negative than usual. We compared against Romney and McCain and Obama and all. It's more negative this year than it has been in the past.
Well, this has been an unusual cycle. I think it's fair to say the candidates running this cycle are not typical. We've never had a full-blown socialist, an admitted socialist, at least in recent times. And he's popular. And there's not a whit of difference between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton on policy. So they're both socialists, just one admits it.
Well, Hillary doesn't practice socialism, whereas Bernie kind of does. All right, so you think it's the rough and tumble that have gotten through to the folks, and they're tired of it. But if you run against Hillary Clinton, it's going to be rough and tumble. That's going to be a tough...
No doubt, but my response in the primary, as insults and nasty personal attacks have flown, I haven't played that game. I haven't responded in kind. When people have insulted me, I don't insult them back.
I mean, Trump is calling you lying, Ted, and you haven't really come back like Marco Rubio did. But it didn't work for Rubio, interestingly enough. It did not work.
My focus, both in the primary and in the general, is on substance. So if Hillary engages in nasty attacks, I intend to go to the economy, to jobs, to people hurting, that the Obama-Clinton economy doesn't work.
It won't be her. It'll be your surrogate.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Now, New York Times, the front page article on you today, saying that you're the most conservative political candidate since Barry Goldwater. Is that fair?
Well, you know, it's funny. I think the Times meant that to be a hit piece. I actually retweeted it and sent it around to people.
Yeah, you thought it was okay?
Well, we're so tired of being lied to. We're so tired of people...
You didn't hear my talking points memo because you just got here. The senator was nice enough to come in. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
We're just being lied to all the time. But the Times' point was on abortion and some other issues, you're so far out of the mainstream, according to the polls, that it might be hard for you to get the popular support to put you in the White House.
Well, I think it's fair to say the Times is not exactly a barometer for the mainstream. They have no idea what the mainstream is. What I will say that the Times says is that I'm a consistent conservative, that I've been a conservative my whole life. Now, the values I'm fighting for are common sense values. I think this election comes down to three issues: jobs, freedom, and security. And not a one of those is a narrow 51% wedge issue. Those are all unifying 60, 70, 80% issues that bring us together.
Within the tent of those issues, you're going to have to deal with specifics. For example, they say, the Times says, that you're against abortion even in cases of rape and incest. Is that true?
It is true that I'm pro-life, but, you know, Bill, it's interesting.
No, rape and incest?
Yes, it is true that I am pro-life, but let me just give the flip side of that. Hillary Clinton's position on abortion.
Anything goes.
Anything goes up till the moment of delivery, partial birth, no parental notification. But I want to underscore something for a second, because the Times says she's mainstream. Do you know 9% of Americans agree with Hillary Clinton on abortion? 91% disagree with her. She's radical and extreme.
You were correct when you said the New York Times is not a mainstream publication.
Exactly.
However, you're going to have some trouble, with all due respect, on the rape and incest abortion thing with women voters. And all the polls say it. Now, is there a strategy, or are you just going to stay in with this?
You know, listen, I recognize that the media loves to focus on issues where they think they can hit Republicans over and over again. I'm talking about jobs. That's what I talk about every day, over and over and over.
The other thing.
That's my focus. People want jobs, and they want wages coming up. We want jobs coming back from Mexico, back from China. We want manufacturing jobs back in America. And I'm the only candidate with a positive, concrete, serious plan to bring those jobs back.
Okay. It's tax day.
Yeah.
IRS. You want to ban the IRS, disband the whole operation. Yeah. I'm a simple man. Who's going to collect the taxes?
So, well, I'm running on a simple flat tax where every one of us will pay 10% flat tax. Fill out our taxes on a postcard.
Okay, but who's going to collect the 10%?
You go to our website, tedcruz.org, and you see the postcard.
All right.
When we abolish the mess that is the IRS code, there are more words in the IRS code than there are in War and Peace than there are in the Bible. The entity that exists as the IRS becomes largely unnecessary.
Who's going to collect the money?
A small office in the Treasury Department. But my point is, this IRS is so corrupt. It's politicized.
So you're going to establish the Treasury Department as the collector, right?
Sure.
If Ziggy in Ohio says, blank you, I'm not paying, does he go to jail?
Of course he does.
Okay, so you got to have enforcement done out of the Treasury Department on taxes.
On a postcard, yes. Somebody has to collect the postcard, and someone has to enforce it. If you don't pay your taxes, the federal government comes after you. That's how taxes work.
We have a lot of more questions and not a lot of time. But it's likely that you're not going to do that well in New York, okay?
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Well, it's not. My job is to tell
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's not about you so much. It's about the state and what the state responds to. Is that going to re-energize the Trump campaign? And do you have anything that you're going to say on Wednesday to blunt it?
Listen, New York is Donald's home state. Of course, it's going to do well in his home state. When we were in Texas, my home state, we walloped him in Texas.
Right.
Let me say one thing on taxes,
real quick,
just because it is tax day. I've released 9 years of tax returns.
And you want Trump to release his
Donald needs to release his tax returns. He claims he's been audited for a couple of years, so release the other years.
All right. Senator, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Plenty more ahead as the factor moves along this evening.